We're going to move on to our next presentation, how to create a winning SEO proposal using SE ranking, site audit, and competitive analysis tools. Check this out. I'm going to introduce you to Connor Wilkins. Connor Wilkins is the Chief Marketing Officer at Direction.com. He graduated from Florida State University in 2012 with majors in editing, writing, and the media, as well as consumer psychology. That's actually the silver bullet right there. Connor is an avid writer and researcher who specializes in identifying buyer personal journeys and engaging them through thought-provoking content. So, Connor, welcome to the webinar today.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
More than well. All right. More than welcome. Well, we want to set you loose on how to create a fantastic proposal. Go for it.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Got a little presentation put together. So we'll run through some slides, and then I'd also like to actually dig into the tool itself. So yeah, today I want to talk about how we go about creating winning SEO proposals using SE Ranking Site Audit tool and the competitive analysis feature. So a little bit background information to kind of set the framework for this discussion. At Direction.com, we uphold 3 core values in everything we do. Those core values are to be innovative, be positive, and be a winner. And be a winner is really where this shines and where this comes into play. So we do not believe in a one-size-fits-all SEO campaign. We don't really technically have any sort of minimum engagement or, unpackaged offerings. Instead, the way we approach every new relationship is following an initial discovery call where a client might come to or a prospect might come to our website, submit a form, and show their interest in an SEO campaign. We then meet with these people, tease out a little bit of information, essentially vetting them, getting information on their KPIs, their pain points, their budget, and really what they're trying to accomplish through SEO. And then from there, we turn to SE ranking. We run site audits, competitive analysis, reviews, and we do that so that we can determine what's actually needed to facilitate growth in a certain period. So most of our campaigns, we like to see an increase in average ranking position, organic keyword rankings, and organic traffic within that 3 to 9 month period. That should also coincide with an increase in lead flow. From the 9 to 12 month period, that's really when we want to, show them a return on their investment, essentially driving revenue through their business. That's how we do SEO. If we're not making our clients money, we're not doing the right thing. So after 12 months, they should be earning money through their investment. And then over time, as this continues, the cost to acquire new leads goes down and, the overhead for their SEO investment goes down because they're just making so much money. So whenever we meet with a prospect, we do ask a few qualifying questions. What's their monthly marketing budget? What's their current volume of inbound leads, desired volume of inbound leads, dream state results, really just gauging to see if they're a good fit with our culture, our values, and truly understand what an SEO investment looks like. And then from there, on that same call, we'll schedule a follow-up call and let them know, hey, we are going to look at your website, your current online presence. We're going to look at your competitors. We're going to look at how saturated your market is. And then we're going to present a proposal that will win you all of these results that we've now essentially promised you. And so once we do that, we immediately hop into SE ranking and start doing some of these audits. So today what I'll show you is how to use SE ranking's website audit and some of the OnPage SEO Checker tool, which is really good for initial optimizations around a homepage to make sure they're targeting the right audience. And then how to uncover important insights like competitors and keywords, how to identify foundational SEO issues, how to formulate a set of SEO campaign deliverables based on these findings, and how to create that winning SEO proposal. So before I continue, I want to talk about this one specifically, the SEO deliverables. So every single one of our SEO campaigns is approached from 3 pillars, essentially. We do content creation using AI writing tools, human editors, to really expand keyword coverage, make sure that we are meeting searchers at various points in the funnel to then drive them to that point of conversion. We also do robust digital PR where we're, securing backlinks on other, high domain authority websites that are sending referral traffic to our clients' websites, as well as, link juice. And then we also do technical and on-page SEO where we're making sure that every one of their pages is performing as it should, It's delivering value to their audience. We're creating a nice, healthy internal linking portfolio that really drives users through the website, again, to that point of conversion. So whenever you are, after you've vetted a prospect and you want to start this process of creating a winning SEO proposal, first steps to create a website audit. I'm going to run through some of these slides. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time. I got a bunch of other tabs open where I'll get into the system and actually show you how we do this stuff. So, and you'll notice I kind of blurted out this particular one that I'm discussing here is a client who just signed. We tend to keep our client information private. So I'm just going to, blank out their name for now. The best way to do this, just go to audit here, all reports, hit new audit. To run a website audit, super simple. You're just going to put in the domain. As you can see down here, we have a few different folders where we house various audits. For the purpose of these, we house them under prospects. And then once you get your audit, SEO Ranking is pretty quick at generating these. They could, be generated anywhere from like 5 to 10 minutes. But the first things that we want to focus on, and again, we are using these insights to create a winning SEO proposal. We are not going so deep into this to create an SEO roadmap. When we create an SEO roadmap, we do that in month 0, right after they sign, where we then spend 4 weeks doing a bunch of additional research, competitive analysis, keyword research to create, silos and, content groups and things like that. So this is pretty high level, but at the end of the day, when you do present this to a prospect, you're already showing how committed you are to their success. You're already providing them value without them even have to pay you. And so it really sets a great tone for the relationship. So with the website audit, typically where we focus is on errors and warnings, these 2 tabs here. So errors, those are things that we typically want to resolve within that month 0 setup. So in addition to doing all of this research and strategy development and building out the roadmap across these 3 core pillars of deliverables, we also do site-wide optimizations to ensure they have the healthiest SEO foundation from which us to execute the campaign month over month upon. So typically we'll look at the errors and determine really what's going to be the heavy lift in that month 0 to get this campaign into a good spot. But when it comes to outlining, deliverables, like how much technical and on-page SEO are we going to inject into this campaign every single month, we often look at the warnings. And the reason we look at warnings is because it's not uncommon for a single page, a single web page to have various warnings or issues associated with it. And so the way we do this is we'll find the pages that show the most potential, those low-hanging fruit, or the most critical pages that are really suffering, and we'll map those into our roadmap, in the first 1, 2, 3 months. And we'll list all of these different errors that we found on these pages within that task brief and present this to them on the kickoff call. But looking at the warnings, you're really going to see, which pages are affected most. We're looking at things like, are there duplicate title tags? Are the titles over 60 characters? Are there duplicate meta descriptions, missing meta descriptions, meta descriptions over 160 characters? Where's website speed issues, content textual issues, internal link issues, 400 issues, things like that. And we'll map those out. But really what we're doing here is we're saying, okay, so many pages on this client's website are affected by issues that are holding back their search engine rankings. And so based on these findings, let's say they have, 400 pages that are not performing well because they're not optimized well. We can then start to take averages and parcel those out month over month, saying, okay, this client might need 10 pages of technical and on-page SEO a month to, start performing above some of these competitors that we found. Naturally, these things also have to fall in line with some of that budget that they've already shared with you. Because if someone says, hey, my budget's $10,000 a month, and you come around and pitch a $20,000 SEO campaign, you're going to look like a jerk. So you do want to stay in line with some of their budget restrictions. But at the end of the day, they came to you because you are the experts in search engine optimization. You do want to show them that in order for them to be successful in this frontier, they're going to need to inject this level of investment into a campaign. So we'll look at the warnings. Another cool tool that I like with SEO Ranking is the crawled pages view, where you can go in here and kind of show, where, based on the sitemap, where the most critical issues lie on their website. is their blog most affected, for instance, or is the sitemap just not properly created and submitted? So that's how we use the site audit tool. Typically with the site audit tool, we're really just determining how much technical and on-page SEO that client might need to be successful and overcome some of these challenges. I also like to look at the on-page SEO checker. Again, this tool is right here. You just go to Audit, OnPage SEO Checker, and do a new audit. So typically we do this for the homepage of a client's website, and we'll do some of their primary keywords. In this case, I did financial advisor. That's who this client that I'm demonstrating here is. They're a financial advisor firm. They're very locally focused right now, but their intention is to broaden into more of a national market. And that's the campaign that we sold them on. So typically we look at, the SEO on-page checker, looking at their homepage based on, this primary keyword and secondary keywords to, in a way, not only, get a head start on identifying who some top competitors that we can review are, but also determine what immediate homepage optimizations need to be made in that month zero. In this case, what we discovered was we actually needed to de-optimize the homepage from a local standpoint to give it more national appeal. And in conjunction with that, they needed 12 brand new service pages that also had national appeal and covered their entire service offering. So that's everything that went into this campaign based on these findings. So again, with the SEO on-page checker, we could take a look at that. So this is the on-page SEO audit. I just picked somebody at random. I don't know who Mission Wealth is. They never contacted me. So, but they're in the financial advisory vein, which is why I selected them, because it's pretty close to the client I'm demonstrating here. But with the on-page SEO checker, we can, look at some of these top ranking articles for the term financial advisor. Naturally, these are not going to be direct competitors to Mission Wealth. Like Forbes, NerdWallet, Investopedia, Money News. These are news outlets. These are publishers that are covering the whole financial sector in its entirety. So they're not really direct competitors from a service offering standpoint. So in these cases, we would then, literally just do some Google searches, look into their local market, their regional competitors and things like that to find competitors that we could actually, reverse engineer and get a good sense of how much content they need in a campaign to overtake these people, how much digital PR they need in a campaign to overtake these people. Going back to this, the on-page checker, really great to determine some homepage optimizations in that month zero. You will find some good competitors when you use this tool. It might take a few different iterations of an on-page checker, but it'll still give you a good head start regardless. And then the next step that we do is document our findings. Before I go into this, I'm going to pop back into SE ranking and show how we look at competitors using like the competitive research tool to kind of get a gauge and a ballpark of how much digital PR they might need in the campaign month over month, how much content they might need in the campaign month over month. So going back to Mission Wealth here, we've already looked at, this is their SEO audit. Again, I don't know who Mission Wealth is. But at any rate, with Mission Wealth, we can look at the top issues, go ahead and view all. We'll look at the errors to determine really what's going to be that heavy lift in month zero to give them a solid SEO foundation. For instance, there's URLs with duplicate page titles. There's only 4 of them. So these are the things that we can clean up in month zero to show immediate value, move the needle in the right direction right out of the gate and kind of satisfy them while we're working on all of the research and strategy development. So we do want to provide value in that month zero. Typically, what we will also do is go to, the prospect's website using the competitive research tool. And we're going to see, how much organic traffic are they generating? How many keywords do they rank for? How many referring domains they have? And then based on some of the competitive research that we've compiled throughout, this journey, we'll then look at some other competitors. Again, I kind of just picked some financial wealth managers at random. So I got Covenant Wealth Advisors here, and then Root Financial Partners here. And so, we'll get a list of 5 top competitors and then see how many referring domains they have, where our prospect's website sits in relation to those, and then kind of take some averages to say, okay, one competitor has, 5,000 referring domains with, 20,000 backlinks. Another competitor has, 1,000 referring domains with 3,900 backlinks. And then our, prospect site has, this amount. And so from there, we'll determine, over 12 months, we should be acquiring, 8 new backlinks to the website or more, depending on what the budget allows. And so in order to really get a good sense of where they're at right now, and then, how they should be performing in relation to their competitors, if you go to backlinks here, we're going to see, okay, they're acquiring a lot of new backlinks month over month. So that's like 229 new backlinks, 288 new backlinks, 209 new backlinks, 400 new backlinks. It looks like they have the digital PR thing covered, but we have to dig a little deeper, because really what we need to be successful is referring domains, not purely backlinks. So if you click referring domains here, it'll open up a new tab where you can then run a backlink audit here. Helena pointed this feature out. So really what we want to see is how many new referring domains they're getting every single month. And if we look at that, we're seeing it's pretty low, 729 to 732. So they got 3 new referring domains. That's how we at Direction.com deliver digital PR. They should be coming from separate domains. That way we're expanding their link juice. We're creating more authority from their website. We will not pursue multiple backlinks from the same referring domain. And so from what I can discern here is they had a nice little jump here, about 29. But that starts to plateau where they're getting about 2, 1. So that will give you a good sense of how many new backlinks they're acquiring month over month and what you need to inject into their campaign to really push them past their competitors. Again, within that, 12-month range where they're, then generating so much organic traffic that they're making quite a bit of money. The other area, so to recap real quick, so far what we've covered is how to tease out on-page and technical SEO deliverables using that site audit tool. Again, looking at errors and warnings, how to determine how much digital PR needs to go in this campaign based on their current volume of new referring domains, and then the volume of new referring domains that their competitors are getting. You should be doing this same backlink audit with the competitor websites that you have, that you're analyzing based on some of these findings. So look at the competitors, see how many new referring domains they're also getting. That's going to give you a good metric on what you need to overtake them. And then we essentially do the same thing for the content, looking at keywords. We'll go to, for instance, a competitor's website, look at the keywords, typically filter this where, we want search volume. I mean, let's say to start, you'll do search volume over 100. You could do search volume over 500, search volume over 1,000. It's going to depend on their niche and really what they're expecting here. We could then, organize this by how much search value. But this is typically where I like to look, what's generating traffic to this competitor's website. In terms of stock market crash is generating 416 monthly visitors. We got 102 monthly visitors again for stock market recession, 146 for market crashes. So these are all kind of in the same vein here. Determine capital gains tax. So they're getting about 63. So if I were to go into, my prospect site that I'm looking at, go to keywords. What keyword are we looking at again? Determine capital gains tax. We can quickly do a search and see okay, do they have a keyword that contains, this phrase? And if not, that might be a valuable keyword. And then we're going to start to parcel out, that content gap, that keyword gap between them and their competitors. And that's going to inform how much content needs to go into this campaign for them to expand their keyword coverage effectively, grow these rankings effectively. And again, overtake these people within a 12-month time frame that's, pushing a lot of money into their business. So going back into the presentation, once you do all of these findings, or at least the way we do it, we always compile this stuff into a brief. We use our project management system. We use ClickUp. The reason we put all of this information into ClickUp is because that's where we manage our projects. So when these clients do sign, we already have a really nice foundation for all of that research that goes into month 0. So we're setting ourselves up for success. We're giving this prospect value regardless if they sign with us or not, which really just sets the relationship off to a great tone again. So going back into not Mission Wealth, but the client who recently signed with us, these are some of the details that we teased out in their discovery call.
They had a budget between 5 to 8K. They were getting about 15 leads a month. And that's on a really good month. And they closed 2 deals. But they were interested in knowing what it's going to take to expand their organization from, this local gridlock into regional and national coverage, so that they're getting a lot more attention nationally from people interested in financial wealth management, consulting, financial advisory, retirement planning, and so on. So as they noted here, they want more rankings and organic traffic nationally. So these are some of the things we determined and shared with them, again, regardless if they were going to sign with us or not. So we determined that they needed 12 new service pages in month 0. This goes into that setup. It allows us to, get 12 national, service pages that are built out, really designed well for UX that would, increase their rankings for national coverage on some of these key terms versus locally, which is where they're pigeonholed. And that, we suggested 8 to 10 new articles monthly, 10 pages to be optimized monthly for this client, with 5 backlinks acquired monthly. And then we put a caveat here. Depending on their budget, we would go up to 10 backlinks a month based on all of the research we had done. So baseline, we want to do 8 to 10 articles a month, 10 pages of technical optimization a month, and acquire 5 new digital PR backlinks for them, up to 10 if they had the budget for it. And then beyond that, we actually detail this stuff like this. We showed them a very loose roadmap of things that we want to do in, months 1 through 3, months 4 through 6, months 6 through 9, months 9 through 12, and then ongoing. And, in part, what we determined was that we need to assess their online presence, really solidify their local presence, lock down your local market so you can expand nationally. So ensuring they enact consistency across the board, restructuring their entire blog, their entire URL formatting. So this particular client was using the title from blogs to generate permalinks, which was, really missing the mark on any sort of keyword optimization. So we needed to restructure all of that in months 1 through 3, develop a strategy for their, we call them FFF. It's a certain blog category that's very short form content that doesn't have SEO value. So we need to repurpose it in a way that, wouldn't detract from what we were trying to do with SEO, but still that allowed them to engage their audience with the short form content. And then, like I mentioned earlier, de-optimize that homepage for the city location and focus the brand name and general wealth management, financial advisory services to lend the ability to rank nationally. And then, it kind of goes like this, where we're showing, everything that we want to do in months 1 through 3, from content, technical, and backlinks. And then, we actually list out all of the issues for them. So for instance, these are high priority issues. They have 349 missing meta descriptions, 317 URLs with duplicate H1s. Like, it's a bit of a mess. But, by doing this process, by giving them so much value up front, and again, positioning it as, this is what it's going to take to win. This is what it's going to take to make money. Because at the end of the day, SEO is an investment that businesses make so that they can acquire more leads, convert more leads into customers, and make more money. That's how we want to framework this. How are we going to make you more money in 12 months? You came to us, this is what it's going to take. If you go lower than this, let's say, this campaign was $8,000 a month. It was right at the top of their budget that they gave us. But we provided so much value in just these initial conversations that they were ready to rock and roll. And, we're just now kicking off their campaign. Their kickoff calls this Thursday, actually. But, we're providing so much value, and we're saying this, based on all these findings, like, this is really what you need to be successful. This is what it's going to cost. You could spend $3,000 a month on SEO, but you're not going to make a dent in the time frame that you want to make a dent. You're not going to make money back in 12 months based on everything that we've discovered here. And in fact, you might instead get a bad taste for SEO rather than really seeing how truly effective it is in terms of, transforming your website into a lead generation magnet. And so by presenting all the information like this, we're able to stay a little more firm on these high value campaign proposals versus, entering a conversation and saying, hey, our minimum engagement's $2,000, but we're recommending a campaign of $8,000, right? They're always going to go for that $2,000 campaign to test you out. And typically what that leads to is, churn. And whereas this approach here will lead to retention, it will lead to satisfied clients, It'll lead to you making them money and being successful to the point where they're becoming your advocates and referring you new business. So that's what I got for you today. I hope I did not run through it too quickly. I'm happy to answer some questions here. So Aaron, I will toss it back to you if you want to. Let me stop sharing here.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that kind of showcase of your proposal. I did, being an agency owner myself, I just wanted to jump in there with a quick question, and I'll give it to the audience. Whenever, and this is a little bit more sales than tactical, but whenever you're presenting SEO proposals, there's always a challenge of the trophy words that the client has in front of them, as opposed to what the real value of even some long tail phrases are that you can see from a higher conversion rate standpoint from your practiced perspective. So how do you marry both of those into a proposal so the client seems satisfied that they're getting heard about the trophy terms that they want to go after, but they're also kind of being guided over to, hey, this is where the real money is over here. Do you have any insight there?
We kind of hold firm on certain things where, there's always clients that want to play a part in, the content approval, or, we actually want to rank for this, but we let them know, like, allow us to do our thing. Typically we don't negotiate on these deliverables. Again, we like to hit them from all three pillars. In the past, we've had clients who wanted to save a buck or two by doing their own content, and they wouldn't do the content. They wouldn't keep pace with the roadmap.
Right.
They wouldn't deliver the content. The results suffer because one of those pillars we're missing. The same applies for if they're doing too much guidance into, what they want to rank for versus what the data is telling us they need to rank for to be successful. Because I can promise you, after 12 months, if I say, hey, we got you the keyword ranking you wanted, it's driving no money through your business versus, allowing us to direct these campaigns. That's fine. Now, one way we overcome that is when we do content roadmaps for our clients in that month zero, and they do want to participate in the content generation. Let's say their deliverables that they signed on for was 10 pieces of content a month. We might do a roadmap with 15 pieces of content, 10 that are produced by direction, 5 that are produced by their team. That way they're feeling heard. They're able to contribute where they can. We also find that clients who do contribute and are very interested in how their campaign is progressing are the ones that get the most value out of it, stay around the longest.
Okay.
So we kind of tread a line depending on really that person's attitude and what they want to bring to them.
It's a tough thing because it's what they perceive as opposed to what right? in the space.
You have to be like, listen, man, you contacted me.
Exactly. Do you ever put any type of ROI projections in your proposals?
So that's an interesting one, and I'm going to throw the SEO word out there. It depends.
Oh, come on.
No, so we've been flirting with this thing called the triple impact guarantee. It's new. We're still kind of working out how we're presenting this, but really what it says is that a campaign value, a certain amount, we guarantee increase in average ranking position, organic keyword coverage, and, organic traffic and leads within 12 months, or we'll do SEO for 6 months for free.
Oh, wow.
That's the guarantee. Again, very new. We're kind of still working through the kinks, but, in SEO, you never really find guarantees out there because there's a lot of conjecture and, a lot of what ifs, like, what if? And it depends on even the maturity of the domain you're working on. Like, on a brand new website that they just created, I wouldn't be able to provide that guarantee. I can't, get you a bunch of money, and you're not going to be ranking for, thousands of keywords and generating 5,000, 10,000 organic visitors on a domain that's a day old. You have
to have the while we're still friends conversation there. But
Yeah.
it's also very important that they see that you're looking at that the same picture that they are. I wanted to.
Before you go on, though, I would
Yeah.
say to the prospect that I just showed you, who's in the financial wealth vein, we did add a guarantee to their contract that we would 12x their keywords. So that's in the contract. We're going to 12x their keyword in 12 months. So
Fantastic. That's bold. That's bold, man. Thank you very much. I want to toss it over to some of the audience. They have a couple questions. One from Mayada Ibrahim. He says he manages 4 websites, but he doesn't know what's better to manage, each one a day or all at one time. It's also hard to find free backlinks that are good, especially. I mean, he connected to your backlink perspective as well. So any thoughts there about how to manage those? This is a management concept, obviously, but it is also part of the audit that you just had to look at there. So thoughts?
Yeah, so when managing multiple websites and ensuring you're keeping pace with all of these deliverables, if you don't have a plan in place, then you're gonna have some trouble there. Again, we use ClickUp as our project management system. We open the doors to our clients. So we actually use a client portal where we are putting public-facing links from our project management system for them to view.
Mm-hmm.
They can log in and see all the work we've outlined, how it's being executed, what the status of it is, what was actually done on all of these pages. And so my suggestion for that is, one, create roadmaps for the content, create roadmaps for what pages you're trying to build backlinks to. That one's the trickiest because with digital PR, it could take anywhere from 4 to 9 weeks for that link to go live,
Sure.
depending on how much collaboration you need with revising the content once you're in talks, or even finding a publisher to do it. My suggestion with the digital PR and the backlinks, if you're creating the content during these backlinks, try to find some, viral subject matter. I know that's a lame thing to say, some viral subject matter, that you could put some data around because data gets picked up really easily. Like, for instance, one of our top ranking articles is, how much does each industry spend on average? How much of their revenue on average do they spend on marketing? And I'm making an assumption article right now of how that might change based on the winner of the presidential election using Biden
Right.
and their previous, stances and impacts on our economy to show how figures might change across industry. And it's all conjecture, but, everyone's talking about the presidential election. I'm using data. You can use ChatGPT to do a ton of stuff now. So
he just cracked the seal on the AI term. You realize that. He just opened that one up. So AI is certainly a factor in all of this, especially whenever you're dealing with auditing tools as well. And, the clients armed with AI could be very, very dangerous. So we want to make sure we give a cautionary tale there. Again, thanks for the presentation. And we're certainly going to have this show for recorded and links available after it. So with that, thank you very much, sir. And we're going to shift gears real quick. Want to make sure that everybody knows that there is an SE ranking community. You can test new tools before their official release. You can ask team questions. You can also enter into giveaways and win swag. We always love swag, as well as chat with some of the like-minded professionals in your marketplace. So check out that QR code because there's a number of different places that the community lives and breathes.